everybody. What's up? Thought my audio wasn't working, but it is. Alright. So, last time, get this music turned down. Last time we were here, we broke everything up into little functions. Hold on, I gotta get a good balance going on here, because it couldn't be heard on the stream last time, and it was too loud for me, so get a good balance here at the onset. Let's just turn that up slightly there. I'm all the way up, so I'm good to go. And then this is too loud for me currently. Turn it down here. I think that's going to be the winning spot. Okay, so as I was saying, we got some progress moving everything into functions last time, and we're still functioning on this Lite-Brite game. And let's go ahead and give a little preview of what we got going on. I have to start a server because we're utilizing modular JavaScript, which at the moment can only be run inside of the server, or some kind of server-esque environment thing, whatever you call it. Okay, so this is my game board here, and you see I've added this nice shiny plastic material. We've got the lights, they're going in a circle right now, but the plan is to be able to make it to where you can add shapes that you want, make it to where you can upload pictures if you want, and it would interpret them into this Lite-Brite thing. But that's for a different stream probably. We probably won't get to that today. If we're being realistic, all that we're going to be doing today is taking out some of these functions and moving them into different files. Because right now we have a 285 line file, and that is a no-no. It's just a big fat no-no. Alright, where is my fancy zones? I need my fancy zones if I'm going to make this work. I got to get my fancy zones on. Where is it? There we go. Fancy zones is on, and the activation shortcut is WinSert, as I like it. Didn't work a second ago though, so I'm on to you. I don't like this configuration. I want to edit it. Okay, and I want to delete the division between these two sections. How do I do that? There we go. I gotta click on this area, and then, okay, this is just a little, there we go. And then I want one of these areas to be my little streaming chat windows and stuff. Where's that gonna be? It's probably gonna be up here. I think that'll be good for now. It'll be my two streaming windows up there, and then I'll have my little OBS kind of incognito down here. More like that though. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Oops. There we go. Save and apply. Alright. Now I can just hold shift, and now I can arrange my windows like so. And I like to do this little fanning cascade thing right here to where I can see the tops of each of the windows, and then certain things I just like to have on the screen all the time. And that's how I do my workflow. I gotta be able to see myself because I'm narcissistic. Like heavily narcissistic. I think I look good. What the heck is that? There we go. Alright, Lite-Brite game. It's pretty, isn't it? I think it's pretty. Okay. So we've got some functions here. Let's just go ahead and list them all so that we can understand what we're doing from a broad perspective. So we're going to list them all, and then we're going to categorize them. Fair enough, right? First one we have is up here, and I'm actually going to go ahead and move that to down there, because everything, all the functions that we have, except for init, I think are going to be moved off of here. So that's why I want to keep them together. Alright, so we have select color is the first one. The second one is init scene. Did my... I can't click on that anymore. There we go. That was weird. Okay, the next one is init scene, and the third one is init pegboard. Okay, the pegboard is the dark part of the Lite-Brite unit where you're plugging the Lite-Brite pegs in. And then we have render case. So already we're kind of seeing these are parts of the system, and those are parts of the scene. So that's a potential division. Setup post-processing seems like more of a part of a scene thing. I'm going to go ahead and even move it really quickly. And I'm going to make this list in the order in which the functions appear to make it easier for me when I'm sorting, I guess. Okay. I guess I am sorting now. So, yeah. After init scene, I'm copying and pasting the setup post-processing, which I think is going to be init renderer, same thing. Init controls, also the same thing. I think I'm done making this list. I think I'm just going to go ahead and sort these the way that I would. I might regret that, but whatever. So init controls, and then we have click to add light at mouse position. Okay, I think this stuff right here can probably be logically separated, and this could probably be logically separated as well. Definitely that soft light goes with the lights. The background is going to go with the scene stuff. So let's move that up to the top-ish where we have like init scene, or I guess just init. Yeah, we do have init scene. I'm not sure why I didn't see it. Now select color does not belong here, so we're going to move that down to with the other kind of in between the event listeners and the light functions. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, but this is it. These are the functions that we have. So we'll need to move them by category into files based on some commonality between them. And the first one that's the most obvious that I can see is the actual parts of the Lite-Brite unit. So we can call that either board or a case. Casing.js. I think we'll go casing.js. So let's make a new file, and we'll call it casing dot lowercasing casing.js. And we're going to take those functions that we have, render case and not init render, init pegboard. Those are the only two. We're going to take those and we're going to move those into that file. Now, both of these functions need to be exported. And I think I can just do that down here. Like that. And then, back on my main.js, they're going to need to be imported. And we'll begin to do that down here. That's not it. Import. I believe it's going to be the exact same thing as this, which is a lot more consumable mentally than, you know, like having the exports listed in line with the function. I guess that I can see the use case for that as well, but I think we're going to have our exports at the bottom of every file for consistency. So out of the box, or this should work without adulteration, and it doesn't. Let's see what's going on. Okay, 3 is not defined. We need to include this import in our casing file. And the import is going to be identical to this one. Import all as 3 from 3. I'm not really sure how modular JavaScript works outside of React or Vue. I don't know if our import map is going to be applicable on this file. I think that it is. We'll just have to hope so. All right, let's see. Okay, we've got flat rectangle geometry is not defined. So we may have an issue with a variable that we're using here and also somewhere else, but I don't think so. I think we just have these constants here, and I think what we have to do is we have to move these into their own geometries file. That would be the smartest thing to do, because we have these geometries and they are in common. Some are in common, I think, or they will be. You know what I'm saying. Geometries should stay in their own file. So let's do that. Let's create a new file. We'll call it geometries. Yeah, metries.js. And we'll begin to copy in the geometries that we have. Naturally, I think these numbers will go in geometry, but that's just a guess as of right now. I don't know that for sure. But here we go. We have geometries.js, and we've got some constants here, which I think are used elsewhere. This is going to be kind of a broad strokes thing. That's okay. We can make this as a class that gets exported, or a function that returns a object, which I guess is essentially the same thing in JavaScript. I'm just thinking of how this should look. I think it's fine the way it is. We can just export everything, can't we? So from here, we can get rid of all of the geometry stuff that was polluting this file. I think I already cut it out, so no big deal. So import all that from geometries, and I'll go ahead and get rid of the unused ones here because they never will be used here, basically. And by the end of this, all of these will not be used here as well. Okay, so back over on our casing.js, we need to import some stuff from geometries, actually some of the stuff that we removed. And I see some other stuff that we might need, but that's something else. I'm kind of seeing a core, we're gonna have to do a core logic where we have a core module, which is gonna probably, I'm anticipating right now that I'm gonna run into an issue where there's a dependency that's going to be shared by two modules that I'm creating right now in this very small little bit of code, and or maybe it'll happen in the future with this architecture I'm creating. But I'll require something from one module. If I don't do this right, I'll require something from one module that requires something from it in turn, and it'll create a cross dependency. So we don't want that, obviously. So we want to try to be smart and make our core modules as independent as possible. And it's just going to take a little bit of thought on exactly how to do that. One thing that's for sure that can be considered core is just primitive constants. Like these. Those primitive constants are the most core of things. Other than that, we're pretty much entirely relying on THREE.js and its add-ons. So the stuff where we have THREE.js, I mean, our core is going to be our main, where we have THREE.js imported. But then the problem is we have to import THREE.js everywhere else. So I don't know. Let's just press forward and run into a problem, and see if we can deal with it. All right, move this because it's bothering me. There's no sense in lamenting a problem that doesn't exist yet. Especially when it's just for fun, I guess. There is, never mind. So, how to deal. Okay, yeah, so I did import the flat rectangle geometry, but I still don't have this mesh node material. And I'm already seeing where I'm going to have to import that into two places. So if that's the case, if I have to import all of my materials into one place, then all of the things that use those materials have to be in the same place as well. So that changes things a little bit. So of the things that use materials, I mean, it's pretty much everything. And leading to a pretty big refactor here. If I had each object its own class, I would still have to import the material into that class. There would be no getting around that. And I have to create a new material every time I create a new mesh. Well, I mean, unless it has the same material. Interesting. Okay. I'll do this for now. But I think in the future what I'll do is I'll have a materials and a normals. In fact, man, I might want to do that now. So we'll have a materials.js and something else. I'm not going to do it now, but for now, I'm just going to bring in all the imports, and this is, let's consider this potentially the bad way to do this. And yeah. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Failed to resolve module specifier 3.js examples JSM nodes.js. Relative reference must start with either slash, dot slash, or dot dot slash. So what reference do we make that violates this policy? Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. I'm not seeing anything. And it doesn't tell me what line it's on. And I'm not like compiling or anything, so this is as granulated as it gets. So maybe we'll have to start walking things back. Let's see. Well, one thing I could just do is just get rid of this geometries and just copy them for now. I'll do that. So we'll go back to the main.js. We'll start walking ourselves back. Leave geometries there and redefine it on this file as well, which is obviously atrocious practice. Now it's saying it has already been declared, so we'll honor that, I guess. And if it's already been declared, it's probably already been, nah, I'm not gonna even assume that. It's already been declared. It doesn't mean it's been defined. Declared and defined, I guess, are distinct. Okay, here we go with the same error. So this is not, this was agnostic of the geometries.js. We didn't create this just now. So, I mean, from casing all this stuff, init pegboard render case, let's just define those as blank functions or whatever Copilot's going to give us. I know I spelled function wrong up there. My goal right now is just to get this back working. Okay, perfect. So we've got that, and so the import right here, when I bring this in, it doesn't work. Oh, it does work. Okay. Okay, so let me comment these out. Interesting that I didn't get the same error. Okay, here we go. Failed to resolve module specifier. Let's see. The module specifier is here. Oh, vendor 3.js extra JSM nodes.js. Do I have to add it to nodes.js? I don't think so. Do I have to add it here? It's definitely possible I have to add it in here. Nope. This sucks. Relative references. Okay. Maybe it doesn't like the dime. Okay, 404. Something's wrong with this. I don't know what it is. But we have 3 add-ons. So 3 is one of the listed as one of the modules. 3/add-ons. When we go over, we have 3, and then we have 3/add-ons. Okay. Then we have 3/nodes listed in our imports. Okay. I got an idea. Let's create one here, a new import, new module, and we'll call it functions.js. And we're going to have to go over and look at those modules. It's a big pain in the butt. I didn't know you had to do all this to include these files. I don't recall having to do this previously. But, I mean, whatever. So anyway, not functions.js, a folder called functions. New folder called functions. And I'm going to have a peek at vendor 3.module.js, this right here. Okay, yeah, definitely just a peek. Let's look at all that. It's a big old thing. So it defines a bunch of constants, blah blah. 3 dev tools. Any exports? Yeah, okay, it's right here. I missed it. All these exports is what it's doing. So that's what we need to do. We need to include these as exports, I guess. And I guess this is... Are there any imports here? There are no imports in this module. It's really interesting. So maybe maybe the secondary import that we have to do is like here. Let's call this so functions. We'll move it into there, and we get to specify where it's at, right? So we have, I guess, a new namespace here. It's not 3 anymore. We'll call it Lite-Brite /functions / cake. It would be cool if I could just have like a main functions, like functions /. So where we have 3/add-ons, I think that's going to be, let's see, extra JSM. There's going to be like a, I guess, add-ons.js. This one has export all from, there it is. Okay, so this is what we need. This is the kind of thing that we need in our in a function called functions.js. So in a file called functions.js, and then we do export all from casing.js, like that. And then over back in index.html, get rid of that. And then for bright light functions, we specify that the folder is /js/functions. And I almost want to specify that last file, but since add-ons doesn't do it, I'm not going to do it either. Right, and we still have the bad import from here. this import should now be, okay, hold on. So from casing, I don't know if I should just be able to do import star, right? Now that I'm doing export star. Makes sense, right? Geometries is gone. Add-ons I'm not using. Main.js, yes. So here, I should just be able to import star from Lite-Functions. .js. What was it again? Lite-Functions/functions. I don't know. Might just be /functions. No. Okay, the import map is bad, Jason, because we're not supposed to end with a comma. Okay, so the module specifier is wrong. That's because it says that we have to start with either a dot. No, that's not right. I think that this needs to just be slash like that. Like the nodes. And then we need to do functions.js. Spelled something wrong? Let's see. I call it function. Yeah, no, functions. By the way, this is my first time doing this. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, as you can probably tell. If you're there. It's cool if you're not there. I wouldn't be there either, to be honest. Okay, so the relative paths must start with blah blah. Yeah, I think that that's probably, let's see. Yeah, we are starting with that like that there. /JS should be valid. We are importing it. Alright, I know that it is, so I think that this is probably holding me up here. If I comment that out, I'll get a different error. And then if I uncomment this stuff, all the errors should go away completely. Yes. So what's wrong with this? Why does this not work? It says it failed. Alright, so we were looking at nodes as a relative directory. The only thing that we're successfully importing star from is 3. So I don't think that that's what we need. I think that we need something from add-ons. So let's look at 3 add-ons, which is an extra JS. We were looking at 3 add-ons. Okay, so now in main.js, let's look at add-ons. Okay. So these are the add-ons. And you see we got WebGL and WebGPU. So that's the kinds of things that we're going to need to be looking for in the add-ons file down here. So let's look at that. Where's WebGPU? I don't see it. Okay. But we are importing it from add-ons.js. So those are renderers. So they're here. And it's a whole lot. So let's look back on add-ons for renderer this time. GPU computation renderer, CSS 2D renderer, CSS 3D renderer, SVG renderer, GPU competition, export default, as WebGL. I don't know where WebGPU comes from. It's weird. Add-ons, capabilities. Oh, okay, I see. So there we have capabilities, WebGPU. There it is. And from the bottom here, we're exporting the entire class WebGPU. Okay. So when we're exporting a spread operator, we may be exporting something other than a class. But when we are, let's see. Now let's go back into add-ons. Where's the add-ons? I lost it. There it is. And let's look for capabilities this time. I lost my keyboard. There we go. Fixed it. Nope. Broke it again. A little bit of a precarious situation here. What are you going to do? All right. So there's the capabilities right there. And it's not importing from that web GPU. So let's look at where it's importing from. It imports WebGL. I don't know where WebGPU comes from. That's kind of weird, but it's not really what I'm looking for in the first place. So let's stick to the topic at hand, which is how do we get this import map to work for what we're doing. Okay, so that one comes from add-ons, which is referenced like this, / in the add-ons.js file. It's capitalized. I think we're seeing it because it is coming in. I don't know. I'm going to specify. I don't think there's anything wrong with specifying the file. That's not my issue. What we are exporting from main.js is default from WebGL, and WebGL exports default WebGL. And then it can be imported, I guess, without the little... I never learned this, by the way. I just kind of stick to what's already there. So here we're exporting a class, but what we're trying to do is more like exporting a function, which is more like what we have on the other one, nodes, right? Do we have nodes in here? We do. Under JSM. Under JSM we have nodes. So let's find that. It's not it. Here we go. Let's check out one of these nodes. Let's check out range node. Export default. They're all classes, I guess. I think it might be good for us to go ahead. Hey, Furry Destroyer, how's it going? You are operating on a broad time range, just like me. Cool. Yeah, I'm struggling here. I ran into an unexpected issue with importing these JS files into one another. Apparently it's not easy. But I'm gonna follow what's in front of me kind of and try to hash it out. I wouldn't say rip yet. I'm still at this. I'm still not dead yet. All right. So all of those were classes, and all of those were export default. Don't think that matters at all, but maybe it does. All right. So let me minimize most of this crap, and it's weird because it seems like it's giving me like a syntax error almost. It says relative references must start with either slash, dot slash, or dot dot slash, but I have that here. Oh, I don't have that here. Okay, well. But it's not a relative reference. That's the most annoying thing. Yeah, see, that's not what it is. It's this is a module that I've registered already. And that's probably not its module name. This is probably its module name right here. So, yeah, why don't I use that? What's up, 400s? I'm making a Lite-Brite game right now, and let me get it working again so you can see how it's going. I need that star from nodes. I don't think I need that. All right, let's check it out. Wow, that didn't work. Let me stash it up. Alright, there we go. So there we go. Got a board and a cool background and these lights. Right now it's circles, but in the future add more shapes, more capabilities, and then later on down the line I want to make it to where people can upload a picture and then it will, you know, make a Lite-Brite version of it. Yeah, you like it? Pretty cool. It's pretty cool what you can do with JavaScript nowadays. Yeah. But right now I'm trying to take a file that has way too much in it and I'm trying to separate it out. But the way that I'm doing this using vanilla modular JavaScript is a pain in the butt. And I didn't know that it was going to be. But working through it, and that's what I stashed when you came on. All right, so let's unstash it. What the hell do I do? Oh, gotta go here, restore. I'm like one of the only persons that uses Git Desktop, and I don't know. I just learned using it. I don't know. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. It's what I wanted to do. I was gonna make like some crazy like game or something, but then I was like, I actually don't know how to do a lot of stuff. And like this is for instance an example. Like, what do you do whenever you have too much code in this file? No, you're not. Git Desktop is killer. Okay. I mean, everybody that I ever talk to, work, you know, freaking YouTube people or whatever, I never see anybody using Git Desktop, but I'm glad to hear other people using it. I like it. There's some weird stuff with it though that you have to, sometimes you do have to go into the command line, or I have before. But all in all, I love it. It's a lot more. I don't know. I'm just used to it. I can do the command line too. I just don't. Anyway. All right. So back to this. Trying to move these functions out of here so we can get it more organized. And I'm having a tough time. I'm not gonna lie. So import star as nodes from, and this is going to be this module that we just created, I think. Makes making branches into each other very easy and very quickly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's just I like seeing all the branches too in front of me, and it integrates with Windows stuff pretty well. Copying paths and stuff. I just like it better. I think that a lot of the people that use computers professionally nowadays are, they're not used to all right, Furry Destroyer, good seeing you. Thanks for stopping by. They're not used to like desktop programs. I was born in the 90s and I grew up. I was 5 before I was in front of a computer. So desktop stuff is like, I don't know. It's like second nature to me. Okay, so we got that. Is this gonna work? No, it didn't work. What's the problem? Yeah, it says failed to resolve module specifier 3 examples JS nodes.js. Well, wait a minute. That's not even the one that I'm working on. How does that work? So hold on. So I bring in bright light functions, and then it says 3 examples nodes JS is not the identifier. That's this. How is it reading this as the module? Is it because I have it named nodes? Let's name it functions. No. How about if we just name one thing from the functions? There's nothing named from functions. It just has an export. So let me go back over there. This is the functions JS. And it just has export star from /casing. Okay. Then when we go over here to /casing, we're bringing in import star from 3. Okay, 3 examples. That might be where we're going wrong right there. Let me see if I can determine for sure that that's the issue. If it is, I don't know. I might have to go back to the drawing board. All right, so I think that's it. Oh wait, no, it's up here too. I think I can do that like that. Says it can't find geometries. Yeah, because I got rid of it. Num rows is not defined. So I'm pretty sure that what I just discovered is that you can't have this imported twice, this Fong material. Flat rectangle geometry is not defined. It should be. Let's make it defined. I don't know if that's the right one. Just get past this, Num rows is not defined in main.js. Okay. I'm not gonna do it this way, but just to get past this, I do want to do it this way. Init pegboard is not defined. Yes. Okay. Now we've resolved all of the little entanglement things. Now we have to actually bring in the functions that we're trying to use. Okay? So when we say export star, does that mean that we get available to us all the functions that we need? So I can do this. Yeah. Looks to be that way. Now we have pegboard is not defined, and that's because it gets defined here, I guess. Or actually, no, it gets defined in the let and at the top here. So we have a bunch of global variables here, right here. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm in the mode of trying to get past these issues so I can see what that was, so I can kind of understand my path forward. Make sense? Now, this is where I run into the circular dependency issue. Or maybe not. Maybe now that I have this set up as the import map, maybe the imports are global? I don't know. This is a bad idea. Okay, now we have mesh falling material is not defined. Now we are bringing that in. Now if we're not using it here, then see, where are we using it? Add light. I actually have a theory that we don't need it there. Yeah. Well, I'm going to try to import it into the secondary module and see if we can. And I'll just comment it out here. Kind of. If I can. Let's see. Help with Copilot. Use 3 basic material instead. Are y'all still there? Doesn't, I mean, not that it matters or anything. I'm just I gotta go pretty soon. So hopefully I'll get done with this crap. Alright. So yeah, material, blah blah. Mesh fong, really? Oh yeah. So that's just the thing that I've been dealing with. Cool, so I uncomment that. Oh, biscuits. So why can't I import that? That's gonna be ridiculous if that works. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's not relative though. It's not relative. How do I tell you that it's not relative? It's not relative, bro. Yeah. Well, what do I do now? I mean, do I just have it written wrong, maybe? Do I just have the import written wrong? I don't think so, because it's here. Right? Let's see. I did get the undefined error. That's what I get when I comment that out. Mesh fong node material is not defined. We could just use the basic material, I suppose. Yeah, let's use the basic material to get past this. Okay. Normal map is not defined. Okay, now we have a new error. That's because we are defining normal map. Okay, normal map is another add-on. Okay, so we'll try this one, but I'm not hopeful on this. I gotta figure out why this what's wrong with my import map. I'm pretty sure this supports what I'm trying to do, but I'm just not doing it right. Now normal map texture is not defined. That's interesting. That's something that I'm actually creating. So yeah, okay. Try that. Pretty much that, and gotta get rid of all this. And move that to here. It is part of the casing, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah. Render case is not defined on main.js. Why is that? Because we're not importing it. Aha. Okay, cool. Cannot read properties of undefined, but we do have something rendered. We have our nice flat rectangle rendered. Sans its texture, and that's okay, because I'm pretty sure I know what's going on. This needs to be dot dot slash. This is already dot dot slash. In that case, this needs to be dot dot slash dot dot slash. Right? I'm surprised that the other one worked. It's not working. So object loader .js, reading add, undefined. What is undefined? Casing is undefined, maybe? Let's see, what is undefined? The object loader, maybe? No, the object loader is defined here. Right there, see? And then it's passed into render case. And the scene is, yeah. Okay, so if I get rid of that, then the error goes away. So I do know that it's in render case where the error occurs. I see. So this should be dot dot slash dot dot slash. This should also be this should just be yeah, that. Casing dot dot slash assets case. Okay. Comment this buddy out. Okay. No error that time. Okay. Comment most of this out. Okay. Uncomment most of this. This is ad hoc debugging. So scene.add casing. Seems like we need to add scene as a argument is all we need to do. Right? No more error. That's because we didn't do this. And still no error, that's good. But that's because we need to use the basic material. There we go. And there we go. Now we have a basic rendering. What is going on with the texture that I'm supposed to be loading? That's not the right path. Okay. Still no texture. Normal map. That's where it's supposed to happen. No texture. We are still using the mesh basic material. That's probably to blame. Alright, well, I do have some division. There are some errors. There's some issues. The main issue is that I cannot seem to import the add-ons or secondary whatever nodes, not the main, into this module. This module is loading, it's rendering, or it's firing. We're able to fire functions from it on main, but I'm not able to pull these modules from other places into my secondary module. Thinking about it. How can these kind of like play together to where we don't have this problem? I'm just gonna make another attempt. So now it says it's already been declared. Really? Okay. Well, that's good news. That's really good news. Apparently it's been a problem that's been all in my head the whole time. So let's see that rendered case. There it is. I don't think I can leave without fixing this issue though. Raycaster is not able to access whatever function it's expecting, which is coming from the pegboard. So here, let's return pegboard, and at the top here we already have pegboard, and where we have init pegboard, die. Little bug. Alright, so where we have init pegboard, we'll just assign our pegboard to that. Didn't fix the issue. Oh, Xmax is not defined. Yeah. Well, quick way to deal with that is to duplicate it. And I already know I'm going to need my cylinder geometry. I'm not going to need the flat rectangle geometry though, and I don't need sphere for anything, so we can get rid of that. There we go. We got it restored. Okay, so I've learned a couple things, and I'm going to go over them real quick before I leave. Okay, number one, each time we create a new functions file, we have to add it to our functions.js, and then we can import it like so. Okay, and that's just how we set it up. And we can set it up in different ways, but that's how we do it. Everything goes in functions, where it comes back to main.js. And also, when we do it that way, apparently the imports that we bring into main.js are applicable for the submodules as well. So we don't have to worry about smart development or core or whatever you call it. We are just going to have things available to us globally. And I think that's the JavaScript way. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick commit. Okay, we'll call this one modularity 1. Modularity. All of this pain is worth it. Not only are we learning, but we're creating a more friendly environment to code in, being nice to ourselves, so that in the future we can solve all the problems. Nice balance of fun and work. Okay, that's all the time that I have for today. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you guys next time. Wait, hold on. Can you even hear it?